Ready? Our online audiences are waiting. Give me a cue when you're live. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Jazakallah for everyone rejoining. We continue with our main theme of the ITIKAF about the freedom from the hellfire. We've shown you all different aspects of the characteristics of hellfire, the inhabitants of the hellfire, how to seek forgiveness to save yourself from the hellfire. And now, without further ado, I would like to go on to the next main session, which is led by our Honorable Imam Qais, who is one of our senior ustads and trainers here. And they're also a businessman by profession. And they will take you to the next stage about the qualities of the people of Najaat, salvation. So this is, again, every different aspect we are highlighting to you to ensure that we save ourselves from the hellfire and become dwellers of paradise. So without further ado, I hand over to Imam Qais.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya'i wal Mursaleen wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in, amma ba'd. Fa'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajeem, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا صدق العظيم وقال عز وجل فمن زحزح عن النار وأدخل الجنة فقد فاز. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. By the grace and mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you've been going through in these sessions description of hellfire, the inhabitants of the hellfire. Also, we talked about how to actually stop and doing tawbah and the condition of tawbah. And yesterday's session was primarily regarding forgiveness, so that then your life on earth will be a lot more easier if you could learn to forgive others, and also if you can also be one of those forgiven people. In these latter days, as you know, Allah through Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has mentioned that these are the days, last 10 days is Najaat from the hellfire, and plus or minus every single time of Iftari, about 70,000 of people are being forgiven from the hellfire, expiation from the hellfire. And then on Laylatul Ja'iza, it's even more. Question is, are we one of them? Or will we become one of them? How do we make ourselves become one of them? What is the characteristics in which enable us to be of those people who are free from the fire of hell? And this is, you could, in one sense, it was a topic in which people will probably generally know what are those things that we should do. What are the things that we can refrain from? Which, inshallah, this won't be something that you're not aware of. You will be aware of as well. Our issue, the contemporary issue that is going, I think also, which will happen even further down the line as well, is that it's not that people do not know. Now, if I ask people here, is that who knows they shouldn't miss prayer? Everybody knows. Everybody knows to enter paradise you need to have faith. Yeah, definitely, Iman. Everybody knows sin is a sin. Good is good, virtue is good. Everybody knows that. The underlying problem that we have, me and you, is that whereas before people struggled to seek knowledge and find knowledge and they had to travel, nowadays the knowledge is there in your face. The knowledge is there at your fingertips. You can have the whole of the encyclopedia of knowledge in terms of whole of the Bukhari Sharif, Muslim Sharif, tafasir of Quran, explanation, different tafasir in a site, website. You can even now get AI to give you the fatwas as well. Sheikh AI. Yeah. Okay, you guys are not getting. I see that you're so. Oh no, mashallah, mashallah, Tabrez got that joke, mashallah, well done. Anyway. What I'm trying to say is that You guys are definitely tired, I can tell that this is going to be a hard session here, okay? It's going to be a hard session because you're very tired. If you didn't get that joke, then I'm going to be real strong. And I know Ustad Maji is giggling away back of the screen and he's giggling. This is what I meant by Brother Qais. He thinks his jokes are funny, they're not. He's saying that yes, Brother Maji, I can see that you're saying that, yes, and you're probably going to text me as well to say yes. So that's what I said. Anyhow, what we're saying is that the knowledge is there. Knowledge is there. People can easily attain the knowledge. People can seek the knowledge. They can get the knowledge if they want to. But the biggest problem we have, the amal isn't there. And a lot of the time is that it's not necessarily the amal as well, is that they don't know the methodology. That is a big problem. So it's not the fact that this topic we're doing about, many people know how probably they can actually save themselves from the hellfire. But the thing is that they don't know how to actually do that. They know sin is sin. They don't know how to safeguard them from sin. They know they should do good, but they don't know how to actually do the good a lot of the time. They know they should make Allah the purpose, but they don't know how they can make Allah the purpose. That is a difficulty. And that is what we're here for. That is what we're teaching here, is answering the how element. So what we mentioned is that here is an important verse, is that whoever zuhziyan nar, is that if he can somehow on the day of judgment remember this, is that it's not sufficient that you've been actually, now you saved yourself from the hellfire. The wa is the next important element here. Faman zuhziyan nar, whoever is spared from the hellfire, he is spared. But you need the other part, the wa element. The wa is wa ma'iyya, is here wa and it's not sufficient that you've been saved, because what can happen, by your deeds alone you might be saved, but then all of a sudden a claimant could come, all of a sudden something could come and say, no, you owe me this and you owe me that. No, you have to now wait for the next part, is that wa udkhila al-jannah, that you've been told now enter paradise. When that order is given, that you're told that you now enter paradise, faqad, indeed, surely you've succeeded. That is success. So yes, Hisab Kitab is done, and now Allah SWT is now ordering now enter paradise. Faqad faz. That is the real success. That is the real success. That is the real joy. That is the real happiness for me and you, when we actually enter paradise. Anything can happen. Remember the hadith, one step away from heaven, something happens, he becomes a person of Jahannam. One step away from Jahannam, something happens, he becomes a person of paradise. Don't judge anyone. Don't be so judgmental. Don't be so happy that I'm, alhamdulillah, and attributing the goodness to yourself. You're praying, khair. You're doing dhikr, khair. Tilawat al-Quran, khair. You got knowledge, khair. Good. Thank Allah, praise Allah, attribute it to Allah SWT. You're doing bad, don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. The verse I recited in Fajr is that those of my servants who've actually are completely despairing from the mercy of Allah SWT. Why? Don't despair. Allah SWT is most forgiving, most merciful. Turn to Him, and surely He will actually help you and guide you and forgive you. So have the wing of hope and fear. Here now, to make sure that you're really awake. Now I want you to look at the screen. Can you see that? Now this is the bit where I need to know if you're really, really engaged. Okay? You really need to be engaged, and I don't want you to feel it, because I'm seeing the eyes are shutting, and I can't have that. My sessions cannot be like that. We can't have you shutting your eyes. Now here, which would you choose? First, on your left, here, as you can see, I'm going to give you all the option. From the bottom, you take one step, and you are guaranteed to die with Iman. You got one option there. However, if you decide to now, if I tell that if you can take 3 steps, you can die, guaranteed to die as a high-ranking friend of Allah, highest level of paradise, highest level of qurbaniness, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can have that. So one option is that you take one step, you can die with Iman, guaranteed. But you have the option to have 3 steps if you take 1, 2, and 3. Are you understanding the question? So you have 1 step here. If you imagine there's the line, here's the line. Okay, 1 step, you're guaranteed to die with Iman. The second option is that you take 1, 2, 3 more steps, you're gonna die as a high rank in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Highest level of paradise will be guaranteed to you, and you're gonna high level of qurbaniness. Now you all have the option. Which option would you go for? Now raise your hands, which option you go for. I'm gonna choose now. Brother, which option would you go for? The one on the right with the 3 steps, yeah? So we have 1 step, 3 steps, so the 3 steps. Brother over there with the glasses, which option would you go for? The one on the right, okay. No, I won't choose it because you're smiling. She's intimidating me now. Haji Ramzan Sabson's intimidating me. I won't go with that one. Okay, she's smiling. That's scaring me, honestly. Both are guaranteed here. You guaranteed die with Iman. The other one is guaranteed high ranking. But imagine that if you had the option. Go with the right. Okay, right. Okay. Brother, which option would you go for? The one on the right. Brother at the back, which option would you go for? The one on the right. Okay. Is there anybody that won't go on the left? Is everybody going the right? Yeah? Is that? Put your hand up if you're all going with the right. Wow. Subhanallah. Brilliant. Brothers, are you not decided yet what to work with? So here, and sisters, you also decide which one would you go for. Would you go for left or right? You also decide as well. Because it's unanimous here. Every single person has said that they will go on the right. They have the option and they're guaranteed. And this is great. This is fantastic. This question was posed to Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Dabbagh, rahimahullah, by his sheikh, by his. It was posed to this question was posed to him. They said, and the option was given to him. And now imagine Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Dabbagh, the Ghaus al-Zaman, highest ranking wali of the time, and he's given this option. He was posed to him. In Kitab al-Ibris, this is mentioned. It was said, so which one would you choose? He said, Sayyidina Abdul, now listen to these friends of Allah. They're saying is that the one on the left, the one on the right, indeed the one on the right is absolutely invaluable, it's brilliant, it's wonderful. And everybody aspires for that. But remember this, these people are people so absorbed in the presence of Allah and they know the power of Allah and they're fearful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that said that despite the fact there's a great and wonderful opportunity for us to become friends of Allah if we go on the right, but me, like the brothers say, me dying with Iman, I will take it because I'm guaranteed to die with Iman. Whereas me taking that 1 step, I'm guaranteed to take that step. There's no guarantee that I can take the 2nd step or the 3rd. Allah can take me at any point. There's no guarantee. But I'm guaranteed to die with 1 step. I will take this. Because the next step you're not guaranteed. And this is what me and you are playing. We think we're going to live 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. We're going to get to old age. Go to the Kaaba. Live your life how you want. Do tawbah. Change our life. Live how we want now. It doesn't matter. There is no guarantee that we're going to reach 30 if you're 20. There's no guarantee we're going to reach the next day. So you have to seize the moment now. Whatever you have. Like some of us might be thinking, yeah, they're talking good, yeah, I do want to, but let me think about it. Let me think about it. Shall I start path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or not? Shall I start? There's no guarantee you're going to see tomorrow. Somebody's fooled us and given us this magic potion, hocus pocus potion, and that's it. That this illusion that we have guaranteed to live our life until then. Here is to seize the moment. Whatever you're in now, you have the chance to live in this moment now. If you need to change, you change now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't want to change till tomorrow. I'll change tomorrow. I'll change. Tomorrow never comes. Live in the present. At least you have faculty to do something now. That was the point of the exercise. Inshallah, we'll move on. Has everybody understood what they said? Anyway, what are those qualities? So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned actually this specific hadith in which he said that narrated by Ibn Mas'ud radhiyallahu anhu, the Prophet said that, shall I not tell you of the one whom the hellfire is forbidden for? Or for whom forbidden for hellfire? Who is that person? What are those qualities? Now imagine he mentioned these qualities that the hellfire cannot touch them. Hellfire, these are qualities. Obviously after Iman and Amal Salihah, these are qualities that if these individuals have, the hellfire cannot touch them. What are those qualities? He sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, imagine, he said, it is everyone who is qareeb, who is accessible, who is approachable. He is good natured or she is good natured, simple and humble. You can approach them. It's not one of those people who erect a wall and you can't come near. You can't ask them anything. Don't come near me. No, they are with open arms. They come to your wedding, they come to your houses. They don't mind what level of classification you are. Oh, he's a Raj, or he's a Gujjar, or he's a this and he's a that. They're not worried about, oh, he's a pauper, or he's a rich person. They're not worried about the system or whatever level of status you have. They're not these sort of people. Oh, I'm a scholar, he's not a scholar. I cannot go sit next to him because he's not a scholar. No, they're not like this. These people are accessible. They're approachable. You can sit with them. They'll give you the time. You need any help, they'll be helping you. These are people who are qareeb. This Rasul said, these people are approachable. He would visit the sick. It doesn't matter. He will attend the funerals. He'll go to the wedding, provide his halal. He's not bothered. He's not egoistic. He doesn't judge. That is one of the qualities that the hellfire will not touch. Another one, that he's polite. He's polite. That friendly, cordial, that he meets and greets others in a cheerful face. They'll be very cheerful, helpful. They'll help you. Brother, do you need something? Do you want something? Can I help you here? Etc., etc. His demeanor, his attitude, he has an open embrace that, come, let me help you. What do you want? The mannerism is there. So not only is he approachable, but he's also very polite. He also mentioned the third quality is that he's very easygoing. Very easygoing. He's not one of those that, oh, you did this to me, that to me. Da, da, da. No, you have your best friends. You're easygoing with each other, aren't you? He's made a mistake, doesn't matter. You be your best mate. It's okay, he's made a mistake, it's all right. He's done this, okay. Oh, he's not done it. Whereas another person, every little minute detail will pinpoint, oh, you did this to me, you did that to me, that to me. No, they're not like this. Easy going. Let it go. It's fine. It's okay. We know. It's a mistake. Let's move on. These were the beautiful akhlaq that the Prophet had. Hence why he was like a magnet for people to come towards him. That people could imagine the scene here. In Medina Sharif. Rasulullah was there. You had a multicultural, multi-society environment where you had Jews, you had Christians, you had all sorts of people. And you had the Muslims there as well. Yet still, imagine talking about the people, what they say in the Shama'il, they say that the people, the beauty and the excellence of Prophet was such that people would wait, they'd wait behind the walls of the Masjid al-Nabawi, and they wait near the path of Masjid al-Nabawi just to cast a glimpse of the Prophet ﷺ because of his beauty. These are non-Muslims. These are Jews, there's Christians. Why do they? Because they saw this beautiful khuluq, the beautiful character which is radiating out. On top of that, this beautiful, most excellent features that they had that no ever has ever seen before. That Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu anha, she says is that my Yusuf, if they see my Yusuf, the people who Zulaykha invited, they wouldn't just cut their finger, they would cut their head off. Because they'll be mesmerized by the beauty of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's how beautiful and that's how handsome the portrait of perfection was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That people imagine a Jew, a Christian, a non-Muslim, all sorts of people are just gathered, they just want to catch a glimpse of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why? Because he had these wonderful characteristics. He was accessible. He was approachable. He was kind. He was polite. He was easygoing. Next quality that Rasul mentioned is that another narration is that he was kind and gentle. That companion said that whenever we'd actually do musafaha with the Prophet ﷺ, their hands felt softer than silk. Such was the blessed hands, that softer than silk. Imagine how gentle the beautiful hands of the Prophet were. Imagine how gently spoken the Prophet was. Imagine his walk, imagine his talk, imagine his demeanor, that he didn't look down on anyone, be it a pauper or be it an affluent, be it a monkey or a donkey or a cat or a dog, a plant or a tree or a stone. He was a prophet for all. That's why he was Rahmatul lil Alameen. These qualities that Rasul mentioned is that he himself had them. And he is saying if the people possess these four, they're like these four shields. One is of what? One shield of what? You have a person who's accessible. Imagine the person is now sat in the middle and with his iman, enlightened with his iman, and he has amal salihah. And then coupled, what these shields are doing, they shield the person from the hellfire. One shield is that he's qareeb. Another shield is that he is hayyin, he's polite. Another shield is what? He is easygoing, sahlun. Another shield is what? He is layyin. He is gentle, he is kind, he's easygoing, he's polite, he's accessible. If a person develops these four qualities, it will shield him. Coupled with iman and amal salihah, which is his inner core, the hellfire will not touch this person, Rasul is saying. It will not touch him or her. Ask yourself, do we possess these qualities? Are we of those people who have those qualities? Or are we harsh? Are we grudged? Are we shut in the face that don't approach me, don't come near? Are we antisocial, as they say? Are we of those people who don't care about others? Are we of those people who are abusive? Are we of those people who actually hurt? Are we of those people who are actually rude? You got to think, do we have these qualities or not? And those are the qualities that will actually help us to protect. So these were just characteristics. You can go on more and more, but these were specific towards these qualities. Now, how do you cultivate that? What is the way? What's the path in which we can cultivate these? Simple. You've heard this, there's another hadith as well, that there are 10 verses that was revealed unto me that it's important to expect whoever establishes, it says aqama hunna. Aqama, for example, for salah in the Quran, yuqimus salah. Always, yuqim basically means, it doesn't mean have you prayed, no, it means established. Qama yakum, it means to establish. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is that whoever will establish the first 10 verses of Surah Mu'minun, he will enter paradise. He will enter paradise. In other words, first of all, we talked about qualities. Now Surah Mu'minun, these first 10 verses is what? Is roadmap to entering paradise. Now look at this very, very carefully. Is that I want you now, every single one of you now here should be able to know where are you on this roadmap. Where are you on this roadmap? Every single one of you should know where exactly you are. Are you here? Are you there? Are you there? So imagine here this roadmap to the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How do we achieve this pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Simple. There's a person, you're sat here like you're sat in the ITIKAF, and you have this vision, I want to achieve the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if you, brothers and sisters, are busied in seeking knowledge and attending gatherings and reading books about day judgment, about hellfire, And actually what you're doing, going to gathering of dhikr and nasiha, going to seminars about the reality of dunya, reading about the lives of the prophets, of the Sahaba and companions. If you're actually reading about awliya and salihin, the virtues of good deeds and so on, you're still here if you're just reading about it. Or are you still here where you're not even reading about them, you're not even attending them? Are you in a state of heedlessness and sinfulness? Are you here? Are you right at the bottom in the state of sinfulness and heedlessness? Is that where you are? Because if that's the case, I don't know if you can see the laser pointer. Can you see the laser pointer? No? Okay. Hamid, how to get the laser pointer out? Our option. Okay, visible. Sorry, it should be here. Can you see it now? Okay, Hamid, you might need to come then. Come. How do you get this on there? Do you have to go to the other way? No, I don't know. Okay, that's fine. That's all. Now you can see the arrow, yeah? Okay. So you're in the state of heedlessness here. Are you here or are you here? Are you still here? Reading books, are you still there? Okay. Or is it the case that you're about to embark on the journey? Because this journey to the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will require to achieve and actually conquer and climb 3 mountains. Reach 3 mountains. Now here's the roadmap. Here, so are you here? Are you in the state of heedlessness? Are you here? Where you're just actually going to gatherings, going to seminars, reading on books and so on, reading about greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just reading and hearing and listening. Are you here? Or are you going to start the journey? So you sit there pondering, I need to start, I need to start. Are you still here just thinking and pondering, I need to start, I need to start? What you have to do is get up and make the start. Making the start is what? You actually go in here, starting and climb this mountain. This first mountain is the mountain of all conditions. Mountain of conditions. What are they? Is that first and foremost to reach the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you want, there are 4 things you need to do. One is having correct belief of Ahl Sunnah Jama'ah. Simple basic belief. Turns out amantu billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusul yawm al-akhir and so on. The articles of faith, basic articles of faith according to Ahl Sunnah Jama'ah, sound belief regarding this. Then the basic do's and don'ts. Fiqh. Whichever fiqh you follow, Imam Shafi, Imam Malik, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, Imam Abu Hanifa, whichever fiqh, you need to have a fiqh, the do's and don'ts. So aqidah, belief. Fiqh, that's a requisite. Then what? Repentance, tawbah. Repenting and discharging the rights of Allah, of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of your own self, of fellow creation. This is what you need to start doing. There's no point. You want the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're in debt. You want the pleasure of Rasulullah, you're in debt. You want the pleasure of Allah, but you're in debt with the creation. You're in debt with yourself. Why? Because there are rights of yourself. Are you fulfilling those rights or not? That's what you need to ask yourself. Am I doing that or not? Fourth element is striving, mujahada. That if you think, oh, Hazrat Sahib will wave a magic wand, we become wali of Allah next time. No. No wali can ever do that. If the Prophet ﷺ is saying to his beloved daughter, oh Fatima, anha, oh Fatima, save yourself from hellfire, who is me and you? Who is me and you? Who is the Ghaus? Who is the Qutub? You have to do the work. You have to do the walking. You have to be the one to strive. You have to put the effort. Yes, they can help you. Yes, they can aid you. Yes, they can guide you. Yes, they can advise you. But at the end of the day, you're the one who has to walk the walk. You're the one who has to do it. So why are these the four conditions to the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Why? Belief. Now I always point this out very easy. Now let's see if you actually, you're very good at maths. You're very good. Okay. Who's good at maths? Put your hand up. I don't want Ustaz Sufyan because he's a math teacher. Who's good at maths? Put your hand. Brother, you're good at maths, aren't you? Yeah, okay. No, it's not difficult. Don't worry. I'm not going to ask you like a very, very complicated solution. Okay? Okay. I have number 1 and I have 0. Okay? 1 and 0. If I put 1 and 0 together, what does that become? Oh, 10, yeah? 10? Is everybody agree that's 10? Is there anybody agree that's not 10? Anybody? Everybody sure? Brother is thinking about it. Is this a trick question here? It's going to be some tricky puzzle, isn't it? Yeah? Okay. Go, what was it? What, do you disagree? Could it be 0, 1? Okay. So we have 1 and 0. Everybody, if you disagree, then tell me please now if you disagree. But does everybody agree it's 10, yes? Now what? Oh, brother is shaking his head. Okay, what would it be then, brother? 1, I never said times. I just said if you get 1 and the 0 there, if you put it together, what number does that show? 10, yeah? Oh, yes, brother. Was it going to be something else? 10, yeah? Are you sure? Yeah, okay, right. Everybody's sure it's 10, yeah? We're getting very technical here now, okay? Let's not get very technical. Do you want me to write it out here? Okay, 1. Okay, this is 1. If I put 1 here, 1, okay, here we go. There's 1 here, and then there's 0 here. What does that become? 10, yeah? No, 0, 1, okay? Let's not get technical here, okay? Now, let's see how clever you are, okay? This is not a trick question, by the way. It's supposed to be simple exercise. Maybe I'm so bad at this, honestly. I shouldn't be doing this, honestly. Anyway, let's add another 0 too. What does that become? 100, mashallah, very good. Let's add another 0. And another 0. That's somebody earns that in a week, don't they? Here, okay. Add another 0. Add another 0. 10,000, another 0. And it gets bigger if the more zeros are added, isn't it? Yeah? Now, here's the thing. Imagine I've got 8 zeros. That's a big number. Even I don't know the number for that. Okay, I've got 8 zeros. Let's say 6 zeros. That's a million, right? Isn't it? Yeah? 6 zeros, million. If I now change that number 1 to a 0, what is it? No, why? But I've got so many zeros here. I've got so many zeros. Why is it nothing? Right? And that 1 represents belief. If your belief isn't sound, and the zeros are representing all your good deeds, that is why we said Iman, we say that Iman is the key to entering paradise. It's so precious in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you cannot fathom. It's such a jewel. So that's why we're not saying this simple articles of faith. A person needs to rectify that, alhamdulillah. Whatever good deeds you do, hence why when you rectify and read about Aqidah, that's why during the halaq of Aqidah and fiqh, is that Aqidah is the biggest purifier. That's why Imam Ahmad called it fiqh al-akbar, the greatest understanding. So the greatest understanding you can have is the biggest purifier of belief. So Aqidah, when you do this and learn about it, it purifies your belief. When you learn about fiqh, it purifies your do's and your don'ts, your salah, your wudu, your ghusl. It's purifying your actions. Tawbah, what does it do? It purifies, what is it? Wait a minute, I've got my beliefs sorted, yeah, alhamdulillah, I purified my beliefs, I've purified my actions. Now what do I do? I've got all this baggage, I've been a sinful person. What's this magic formula that I can do where it eradicates all of the past? Called Tawbah. Tawbah purifies all your past, doesn't matter up until now. That's what Tawbah does. So why are you worrying about what sort of life you led? You do Tawbah, it's as if all of your past has been purified now. Up until now. And then what? You need that energy, you need that movement. What is it? That's what it's called mujahada, striving. You make effort. So that's the first condition, 4 conditions towards the path to the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Are you here yet? Because if you're not even stepped foot yet, how can you be there? So if you're still learning, going to depths of studying about belief, about aqidah, and sharing shara aqaid, and all these things, you're doing hidayah, and you're doing sarf and nahu, and all these other things, you're still here. You're still here. You've not even gone to the realms of other mountains yet. You never crossed anything yet. Now what's happening is that from the 4 conditions, mountain 4 conditions, there are 4 objects. Ultimately, we know we want the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, we want the pleasure of Allah. That is our ultimate objective. Maqsood al-azam. Okay? The ultimate objective is the pleasure of Allah. Now, that comes from whom? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, isn't it? It comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But what is it that we can do to facilitate that the rida falling upon us? There are 4 things that we can do, and that's why we're called objectives, aims and objectives. That's the second mountain of objectives. we trying to reach from the mountain of conditions to the mountain of objectives. One, the first objective is to give preference to Allah by giving preference to His command. Giving preference to the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by giving preference to his ways and lifestyle. Having compassion over the creation by fulfilling the rights. And number 4 is to be in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the full 24 hours whilst we're doing all of these things. Those are 4 things that will allow the rida of Allah falling upon us. It's like a magnet that attracts the rida of Allah falling upon us. But how do we connect the conditions to the 4 objectives? How do I make that crossover? That's why we need this bridge called bridge of purification. You need that bridge. So here, you need to purify your body, you need to purify your mind, you need to purify your heart, and you need to purify the nafs. And once you do that, it leads you towards the mountain 4 objective. So where are you now? Are you here on the bridge? Are you on the mountain? Have you reached the mountain 4 objectives? Then when a person reaches the 4 objectives, is that he is then with humbleness and sincerity waiting for the grace and for the Lord to actually fall upon him. Then he will be entered to the 3rd mountain, which is the pleasure of Allah in the kingdom of heaven. That is where he's going to be entered in. Once you reach that state, that mountain, what's the next thing is that you give da'wah. And I'll conclude this in the surah. You give da'wah, showing thankfulness and being steadfast, thanking Allah that the way I achieved, I should now convey that to others, how they can achieve the pleasure of Allah. Giving da'wah to people and then helping people, giving them the fruits, they can actually use this as building thirst upon them to start the journey. So where are you on this journey? Where are you on this roadmap? You need to analyze. If you're not even embarked, then why haven't you? It's been 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. You still haven't embarked. When are you going to start going? When are you going to start walking? So here, قَدْ أَفْلَى الْمُؤْمِنُونَ, here, success are believers. What is belief? What is the believers? Believers, they have purpose. Belief, what does it do? It tells you why you should follow Allah. Why should you actually worship Allah? وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ إِنسَ وَإِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, is that here is that what does belief do? It tells you the why and it gives you the aim, objective, your purpose in life, the direction in your life. That's what Aqidah does, that's what belief does. So here is that you've gone through this, says Harun, is that here at the beginning where there's no creation whatsoever, just Allah SWT alone with His sifat and qualities. And through His fazl and grace and mercy, He decided to create creation and created all the different creation and spirits of different creation. He created heaven and hell, angels and so on. And He created me and you, our spirits. In the world of spirits, some very important incident took place. Here, the world of spirits, we then observed the paradisal kingdom and we mesmerized the beauty of the paradisal kingdom and we're just staring at it, wonderful, how amazing this is. And that is when Allah SWT then presented that, do you want this? Yes. Okay, then fine. Is that Allah SWT gave us a gift, an amana, a trust in which we should supposed to help us acquire and show and prove to Allah SWT that we are worthy of paradise and being in paradise, in the kingdom of heaven. So here, me and you, really, although we may live in different places in this world, we may be living in huts, we may be living in mansions, it doesn't matter. The real place that we were created for was heaven, was Jannah, the paradise of the world. That's where me and you were created for. Our place lies there. We are kings and queens, princes of paradise. That is what Shaitan doesn't tell you. He makes you think that we're useless, that we're nothing, that we're sinful, that we're just ready for hell. That's where we're going to end up. Makes us lose hope. That is what he's doing. So what happened is that in the world of spirits, that Allah SWT gave us an amana, a trust, the trust of freedom of will. And Allah SWT then took us and brought us into this world, all our spirits into this world, and a land of Arafah. And that is why in Hajj we go to Arafah. There's a reason because of the link of there. In the world of spirits, in the land of Arafah, what happened? There Allah SWT took a promise from us. When Allah SWT mentioned, Alastu bi rabbik qalu bala shahidna, we said, Ya Rabbal, indeed you are our Lord. So he took a promise to show and identify what Allah did is that in this world, this is the land in which you're going to come. I'm going to test you with this amana, this gift that I've given you, the freedom of will. I'm going to test you in this world. And then what will happen is that you demonstrate and show to me that I am your Lord, that you will not follow anybody else apart Prophet ﷺ, and you will not follow the devil. Those are the three promises that we took in the world of spirit. Now we've come to this world. This world, as mentioned the other day by our beloved Shaykh Ahmad al-Bagh, they mentioned that in this world, if you live an average of 60 years or so, if you sleep in 8 hours in a day, a third of your life is spent in sleeping. 22 odd years or so you spend sleeping. 15 years of your life you spend is what? Education and childhood. Most of your life is gone there. 2 years of your life spent in bathroom and toilet. 1 year of life, anxiety and problem. Real living, when you calculate all of these things, the real living you'll actually do is what? Now here, let me ask a question. Who's been to university here? Just raise your hand. University? I'm not trying to shame you, but I'm just saying. Now, there's no guarantee of a job after degree, is there? So here is that there's no guarantee, and a lot of you, are you still doing the job that you did studied for? Or are you doing something different? 9 out of 10 people are doing jobs that they never studied for. 9 out of 10 people. So here is that you spend 20 odd years educating, 15 odd years educating, and still there's no guarantee of a job. And then you might be doing a job which you didn't even study for, which is not your qualified degree. Now if I was to tell you, here's a contract, give me 6 years of your life and I will give you £1 billion. 6-year contract and I'll give you £1 billion and you can live in luxury until you die. Just give me 6 years of your life. Who would take that? I would take it. Why? Because you know it's only 6 years and you'll be a billionaire. You'll be in luxury. Now, if you can understand this about the value of this world and 1 billion, what to say that if you can give 6 years, the real living that you're doing after your sleep, after your work, after your education, after your problems, after you're going to anxieties, after doing nothing, 6 years is of real living that you're doing. Allah's saying is that, oh my servant, just give me 6 years of your life and I'll give you paradise. Can you even equate £1 billion towards paradise? It can't, it doesn't compare. Money cannot buy you that. And that is what Allah says in this world, what you do, give yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, show and demonstrate that you are responsible and you're worthy for paradise. Then we have a world of barzakh. Either it will be a garden of bliss, there you go, a window will be shown you where you're showing paradise or world, or it'll be a pit full of fire. One or the other. You stay there until their judgment, when scales will put up and judgment made. If you died with the iman and amal salihah, alhamdulillah, crossing the bridge, you'll enter paradise. If not, unfortunately, you'll be entered into hellfire. For some, if you're not died with iman, unfortunately, it could be forever. And for some, if you have died with iman, but unfortunately your bad deeds outweigh the good, you will have to do some time in Jahannam. What the ulamas have said is that the reason being people were sent to hellfire because only pure souls can enter paradise. So the real effect of hellfire is to purify you. Now we go back to the original question, is that if you're thinking, should I start purifying myself or not? It's not an option, it's farad. It's farad upon you to purify. If you can do it yourself, tafaddal. Khud kare. Do it. But this is coming back right at the beginning when I said is many people don't know how. And this is where we come, is to show you how you can actually do it. So you either can purify yourself here in this world, or you can purify yourself in hellfire. It's up to you. But remember this, it's a one-way journey. There's no second chance. There's no going back. You don't go in that direction. You go one chance. That's it. Either use that in this life, like yesterday I was mentioning about the driving test. You can fail your driving test many times you want. You can sit again. You can fail any test in this world. You can reset. No. Your GCSEs, your A levels, your degree, any of the courses that you do in your workplace, etc., etc. Doctors, etc. The different courses that they do year upon year to keep them skilled. All the different courses that you do, your accountancy and so on. You do different courses. You can always reset them. But the test of this life, you only have one chance. There's no reset. There's no second chance. It's the most important, most crucial, most dire, because we're talking about heaven or hell. Eternal bliss or eternal damnation. It's not a light matter. And hence what Rasul said is that if you knew what I knew, you'd cry more and laugh less. So here, how do you do this then? How do you start that purification? How do you actually start embark upon purifying ourselves? Well, here Imam Ghazali and others, they mentioned there are 7 organs in which we commit most sins by. You've seen this before. Just refreshing you, and those of you new, it might be new to you, is that imagine, just so that I usually use this example according to how our teacher said, is that imagine your heart is like a vessel. Imagine it's like a pond. Now let's see if you're all thinking again. Pond. Everyone can imagine a pond? Yeah? And then there are 7 streams coming into that pond. And that pond it's got Maya Zamzam, water of Zamzam. Beautiful, fresh water of Zamzam. I'm telling you. Now there's 7 streams come to that pond. Now I'm saying to you that imagine through one of the streams, filth and sewage comes. What will the effect of that water, brother, there? What will the effect of the water? Yeah? It'll be what? Would you drink it? Why? It's Zamzam water. Contaminated. Oh, God. Where are you from, brother? Nelson, mashallah. First time I met a worthy Nelsoner who's actually got a sound mind. Normally Nelson would say, yeah, we'll drink it. What's wrong with you? It's beautiful. No, uncle. He's not from Nelson, by the way. He lives at a higher place, where the kings live. That's what in Nelson. Anyway, first time he said, yeah, it's contaminated. I can't believe. I'm really taken back. That's somebody from Nelson actually said that. I'm really taken back by that. So I'm really. It's warmed my heart there. Honestly, it really has warmed. Because I'm going to go to Briarfield now. I'll go to Briarfield, Mr. Briarfield. Okay. Now imagine, now it's under pressure now. Briarfield technically shouldn't really exist, but we'll just say anyway. It's just one street, by the way. You blink your eye and you miss it. You blink your eye and you miss it. Only the Nelsoners and Purple and Burnley will understand what I'm saying here. Anyway, Briarfield, people of Briarfield, okay, there's one person anyway. Now, imagine, the brother from Nelson has said, very intelligent brother, very unique as well. He said is that there's a pond there, there's 7 streams. If one of the streams, the water goes in, he won't drink. If sewage comes, he won't drink the water. Now, if I say 2 streams, what happens to that water? You'll drink, there you go. See, Briarfield, there you go. Now, if a second stream, what happened? Would you drink the water? What happened to the water? Even more. No, would you even want to even touch the water? No, mashallah, very good. I won't mention what he does for a living, but anyway. So it'll be even more contaminated. Now, 3rd, even filthier. 4th, even. Now, imagine through all 7 streams, water is contaminating the pond. You'd be stinking, you wouldn't even want to look at it, isn't it? Now, here, let's say, I don't want to pick, somebody who's not from Nelson, let's see, somebody who's from down south. Mashallah, you're too clever. I need somebody who's not that clever. No, sorry, no, you're all very clever, mashallah. That didn't sound so good, Keir. Think right, don't say things like that. Brother, no, I'm not saying no, you're not clever, okay? I'm not saying you're very clever. No, I'm not saying you did put your hand up. You did put your hand up, so I'm not, please take back, I'm not saying you're very clever, okay? I'm saying you're very clever. Now, imagine there's a person with a bucket. Imagine filth and sewage come to the pond and contaminate the water. He's got a bucket and he thinks, I'll get rid of the sewage and filth. And he puts his bucket in and chucks it out. Puts the bucket and chucks it out. Is he clever? What will happen to the water? It'll be gone. But sewage is completely coming in. What effect will that bucket, putting the bucket in and taking the water out, what effect will it have? Truth. Yeah, that's cleverness. There you go. Brother is very environmental friendly. He knows he's going to contaminate the outside. So go, what happened to the water? I did tell you, honestly, you need to be clever to understand this, honestly. What will happen to the water, brother? Nothing. Exactly, nothing. That's it. It's not. Okay, I need another clever person. So, but he keeps on doing it again and again. So what, brother at the back, yeah, you can redeem yourself, yeah, now. What will happen if he keeps on doing it again and again? Then why? Why still nothing? So what do we need to do? Brother, you're clever as well. Go on. What do we need to do then? Because the brother said is that it still have no effect because still sewage is coming in. So what do we need to do? Block the sewage. Block the sewage. And that is what we're saying. Is that if, say, for example, what we try to do, we try to block the sewage in one go in Ramadan. I.e., is that imagine these are 7 organs of the body through which we commit sins. Every time we commit sins, darkness is coming into our heart and it's contaminated the heart. This rana ala qulubihim ma kanu yaksibun. This is this black spot that is, and it's actually rusting the heart. It's filling the heart, making it dark and filthy. Sewage is coming in, sins is coming in from left, right, and center because of the sins that we do, the eyes, the hands, the feet, the private stomach. That's what we're doing. And when Ramadan comes, remember they see the moon of Ramadan. I want to be good. I want to be pious. I want to pray. I want to do tilawat the Quran. I'm not going to binge watch. I'm not going to go this. I'm not going to text her. I'm not going to message him. I'm not going to go here. I'm not going to go there. So you try to do it in one go. And what happens after 3-4 days? You give in. I couldn't handle it. It's too much. Start swearing, start shouting, start doing this and start doing that. You see the masjid, first day packed, 3 days later, less. 10 days later, half empty. Where have the musallis gone? Where have they gone? Half empty. Oh, it's getting too difficult. Why can't it be a little bit later? Or why can't they make it shorter? All these excuses are coming in. Why? It's because the sewage is still coming in because we've not put blockage there yet. We haven't got the power resistance to stop it. I'll take the question. Let me just quickly finish because short for time. I will take that question. Don't, inshallah. I will take it. Okay. So they try. So what happened is that because of the fact that here is exactly what the brother is saying, that we need to put blockage. How do you put that blockage? Using this formula of yesterday you heard from Shaykh Ahmad Dabbar, the secret to change, how to transform from being a gate that is open, a channel that is open, through sins coming in to a channel that's blocked. How we do that is that we use this concept, the assessment sheet of the sheets, that for 30 days you're going to practice. For example, you take the tongue, and for 30 days what you're going to do is that you will not actually use the tongue in the wrong way. You're going to resist from actually doing anything evil, and you're going to persist and carry on doing good. If you do this for 30 days, tick, 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 it's as if you put a blockage. Now, you might be thinking, I'm saying work on one. You might be saying, but Brother Qais, there's more sewage coming to 6 other channels. Doesn't matter. We don't have the strength to carry all in one go. We're going to build slowly, 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 so that it lasts. It has a lasting effect. So what happens when you blocked one? You choose another organ, let's say eyes. So what happens is that this time, I do the tongue and I do the eyes. I'm carrying 2 weights together. What will happen is that, let's say for example, on 15th day, I've done nothing wrong with the eyes, but I swore. I put it across, and what happens? I start again. I'm learning how to carry 2 organs at a time. Then when I complete that, that's 2 blockages. Then I learn how to carry 3 organs at a time. Then I learn how to carry 4 organs at a time. Then 5, then 6, then ultimately, I learned how to control all 7 other organs of the body in one go. And that is when you permanently put that blockage so the sewage doesn't come in. Now, my question goes back, if that person goes in the pond and takes the water out, what will be the state of the water then? It'll get cleaner. It'll be purer. That is what happening, is that it starts getting purer, because why? Automatically the filth is now extracted, it's gone, and you can start cleansing that. Through what? Purifying agents. What is purifying agent? Everything has a cleaning agent. And the best of the cleaning agent of the heart is what? Dhikrullah. And when you start doing dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, starts cleansing the heart. Start cleansing it. Hence, after this, what you do is that we have this la ilaha dhikr. One of the amals that you can do once you commence that journey towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is for 20 minutes in the day, you do dhikr la ilaha illallah. Imagining all your evil is actually in the stomach, all the desire is in the stomach. You say la, you take all the evil out from the stomach all the way up to the head. You say ilaha. Imagine now you're giving everything up for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then what? Imagine the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is above your head and light is coming from the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're going to strike the heart with illallah. That light inside the heart. Hit it. And what illallah meaning that I don't want nothing in my heart apart from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No other laws, no other deities, no other thing apart from Allah. Eradicate all filth and then reflect that light back to what? To the nafs again. To the desires, what the desire is. Hit it as hard as you can with that light, breaking the channels and weakening the nafs and extracting the evil again. La ilaha illallah. And follow that process. For 20 minutes you do this in that imagination. For 20 minutes. And that is going to be the cleansing effect that you want in the heart. The cleansing effect, so that then the nafs, the shackles of the nafs will also weaken. This is a very, very powerful dhikr. After the dhikr, la ilaha illallah. Using this dhikr, you're going to slowly start removing yourself from the shackles of nafs and shaitan and start actually become more independent and freer and have control over these organs of the body. So that's one element you do. Another is the muraqabah dua that you've been prescribed to help you what? To create that awareness and presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to help you start communion and conversation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can talk to your friends for hours. You can talk to your girlfriends, your boyfriends, and all this. You can talk to your mom and you can talk to your dad, etc. Why is it that you cannot talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of the worlds? When have you ever reached out and get the phone? You have, you have in phones, you have quick numbers, you have quick dials, etc., etc. You have the quickest dialing system that you have with your heart. You just turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you say, Ya Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Labbaik ya Abdi. Quickest connection. When have you, apart from the salah, where it's ordained, voluntarily, willingly, lovingly said that I will now sit and start conversation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Lord of the worlds. He's the one who created me. He's the one who gave me life. He's the one who gave me existence. Unconditionally, I had no say in that. He made me into the best of forms, the form of human being. He made me what? Made me in the ummah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He made me what? He made me and gave me iman. Did me and you have anything? I could have been a tree, I could have been a bird, I could have been a plane, I could have been anything, but I'm a human being. I've been given a sound mind, sound heart, I've been given intellect, I've been given all these blessings. Did I have a say in that? No. So similarly, he should be loved and followed unconditionally as well. He created you unconditionally. You should also love and follow him unconditionally. So isn't it right that the servant tries to connect and converse with Allah? Ya Allah, you are my Lord. You created me. I'm weak. I need you. I want you in my life. How do I make you into my life? How do I make my life revolve around you? Ask him. Speak to him. What you do, problems and things is taking me away from Allah, speak to him about your problems. Or the blessings is busing you, the business of wealth and health is taking away from Allah, speak to him about your blessings. Oh, wait a minute, your past life is actually affecting you, your sins is affecting you. Speak to him about your sins, present that. Oh, wait a minute, you have a need, speak to him, present your need to him. You need guidance, speak to him and ask for guidance. Present that to him and rely upon him and leave the matter to him. Because that is his job. My job is to connect to him and serve him. worship Him. Have we done that? That is one of the exercises you do. So once you decide that I want to start the journey, you're going to get the sheets, you get the organ of the body, choose an organ, you're going to be given an organ of the tongue, you practice the purifying, cleansing the organ of the tongue, and then you do the dhikr, la ilaha illallah for 20 minutes, you do the muraqqa dua for 10 minutes, start your salah, better your salah, work on your sincerities, how to develop sincerity and ikhlas, and that is the 5 daily practices that you have to do every day. To what? Achieve the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that will take you what? Half an hour in the 24 hours. Can you not give that? Half an hour just chit-chatting somewhere. Half an hour we might be doing whatever, reading our blog spots on sport channels and watching whatever, etc. Can you not give half an hour of your time? Of course you can. That's all it needs. That's all you have to do. Half an hour in the day. Anyway, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Allah fi salatin khashi'un. Their hearts are actually humble and they're in the khushu. Now, establishing khushu, that's what we're discussing. How to establish khushu and khudu in salah. If you want to better your prayer, we have a sheet that we just talked about to improve your prayer. The outward prayer and the spiritual prayer. There are 10 different levels here, which you can read at your own detail if you're going to think. Then the last one, how to improve the prayer, is that you're in salah, and what you're doing, you're going through the different sifat of Allah with your thinking about the different sifat and quality of Allah, the 99 names, and being absorbed in that sifat and thinking about them. You're learning about the meaning, you learn about actions, you learn about all these different levels. You choose a level, you're going to develop now. What happens is that from the prep level to other level 10, it's taking you closer and closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Improving your salah. It's going to take you closer and closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then what? Is that those people who actually refrain from evil and far. And we mentioned this other. So in other words, what I'm saying, and then وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِزَكَاةٍ فَاعِلُونَ is that they are continuing doing the tazkiyah. You're doing your tazkiyah. I'm going to skip all of that. So basically what I'm saying is that if you want to start the path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, let's go back here, let's exit here from here, is that if you want to start your path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first and foremost, ask yourself, where am I on this journey? Where exactly am I? That is the real question you need to ask here. Where am I? Am I here, in a state of heedlessness? Am I just reading in books, I'm still here? Or have I actually started embarking that journey? Have I started? Because how are you going to cross that journey, this mountain for good intentions to a mountain for objectives, if you don't have a bridge of purification, if you don't have a path, a way to do that? You need that. Otherwise, you can forget about tasting the pleasure. Let me just tell you that. It's a wake-up call, a reality call. You need to ask yourself, where am I on that journey? And if you're still here, is this where you want to be when angel of death comes? So I suggest, my dear brothers and elders and sisters who are listening, is that start your journey. You need to start that journey towards Allah and His Qurbaniness. Because if you don't, it's going to be a very, very painful end for us. So here, right at the end, I'll just finish it here. Inshallah, I've got about thinking, then I'll take some questions. Last bit, that people who are of Najaat is that we mentioned about Surah Mu'min, that these helps you to actually what? Attain steps towards attaining Jannah and paradise. These are the qualities. Is it coming through? These are the qualities that help you attain Jannah and paradise. If you start that course, it'll take you towards paradise. It'll take you to the Qurbaniness Allah and His Rida. That al-mu'minun, they are khushu and khudu in the salah. They avoid for doing, they do the tazkiyah, they guard the modesty, they keep the promises and trust. This promise and trust is, we would have gone detail, but another time. And they guard their prayers, they will enter paradise. These are people. So here, as Rasul mentioned, is that Shaykh Ahmad Dabad mentioned is that, as you know, that the first 10 days are 10 days of mercy. Second 10 days are 10 days of forgiveness. If you want mercy, you show mercy to others. If you want forgiveness, you should forgive others. Latter 10 days, how to actually save yourself from hellfire, expiation from hell, freedom from hellfire, is that first and foremost, you protect yourself by bringing your beliefs and deeds according to Quran and Sunnah. Align them to Quran and Sunnah. What should be the belief system? Secondly is that save others. You first will protect and save yourself, and then you try and save others. How? By giving dawah, by sharing the message. That's how you're going to do it. So once you start saving yourself, saving others, Allah will save you. That is what you have to do. So here, remember this. Shaykh Ahmad Abad mentioned this as well. And I think if you want, imprint this, honestly, it's invaluable. Because this will then help you to ponder how I behave with others. It's mentioned that, in other words, the summary of all of this, all of my lecture, you can say this lecture which I've just mentioned, which is not my lecture now, as our beloved teacher through their teachings, is that what you want Allah to do to you, start doing to others. What you want, if you want Allah to show mercy towards you, show mercy to others. If you want Allah to forgive you, forgive others. If you want Allah to help you, help others. Are you understanding? So what you want Allah to do to you, start doing to others. However, they said is that this is also a double-edged sword. Double-edged sword. Why? It's because if you do wrong things to others, wrong things will also come to you. Harm comes to you. As the Rasulullah said is that man dara dar Allah wa man shaqa Allahu alayhi. Is that whoever will harm, Allah will harm him. Whoever cause difficult, Allah will cause difficult for him. If you create ease, Allah will create ease for you. If you cause hardship for the Allah will cause hardship for you. So ponder on this. Reflect on this. If you really want to be people of Najaat, develop those qualities. Bring your faith and life. Start doing good deeds. Start the journey towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is the real way in which you can actually what? Become the people of paradise. Jazakum Allah subhanak wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Now if there's any questions that we'd like to ask regarding this topic we'll discuss, inshallah. Yes, bismillah.
Going back to the point
Yeah.
with the pollution. I know you said that what I said wasn't really relevant.
No, I said it was right. It was a brilliant answer. That's true. It was, no, it was right. I said that's correct, but you said it's 100% right.
Yeah, no, what I wanted to know, if we take that into the real world practice, like for me, myself, so say I'm doing bad deeds and like my heart's polluted like the pond, and then I'm taking out that water and
Chucking it somewhere.
contaminating it. And does that mean I'm contaminating other people
So
around me?
what are you doing is basically is that there's darkness inside your heart. What does it mean chucking the water? Is that I'm misusing my organs and chucking to the person. I'm harming the other person with my tongue, with my hands, with my eyes, with my mind, etc.
I'm
That's what I'm doing.
saying taking it one level further, like the water is contaminating the outside world. I'm corrupting other people, taking it to that level. So now, say even if I turn back and I find Allah and what I repent, these people I've corrupted, they're going to carry on, even though now I'm on a straight path.
Good. Yeah. So
These
now,
people are still corrupting people and carrying on, and I've got no control over that.
you have one element. Now, here, what you're saying
No,
is good.
what I'm trying to say, all their bad deeds are getting assigned to me, ain't they, still?
Inshallah. Yes, one can say that, yes, but what I'm saying is that you don't tawbah. That's the first first element. Now what you do is that you go back. That's why you say rights of Allah, rights of creation, rights of them. It's their rights. So if you violated the rights, you discharge the rights. Now you also do dawah.
Yeah.
You rectify that. Dawah is basically tell them, okay, here, I've achieved this path, I've achieved this purity, now you come towards here as well. And once you start doing that, then you help the others who you helped. Initially, you helping the corrupting them. Now you help them become better them and make them better by doing dawah in the best possible way. Once you've done that and given them the message, inshallah Aziz, you can now, whatever you do.
Well, but if they've already got the message, they're already Muslim anyway, but
No, remember this is that, there's a saying that the Arabs have is that, Al-Muslim, I'm going to say that Yeah, everybody's saying they're Muslim, but not by, this is just Muslim by tag, but not by action. By tag, not by action. A real Muslim is that person who is free from hands and from your tongue and your hands. I.e., you're not harming them. You're safeguarding and protecting them. Yep. But alhamdulillah, very good, Najim, very good question. MashaAllah. Anybody else has any questions? You don't need to ask him if he's got a question. He should know. Have you got a question? Okay, just.
One of the slides made me think of a question. And that's what I was saying. And that's kind of slipped out of my mind.
Okay,
so.
go on. Do you remember the question?
No, one of the slides made me think of it.
Okay, which
And
slide was it? Did we slide over it? Thank you. I've redeemed myself, Ustad Majid. There you go.
See, we do party jokes funny,
Go on. Go on. Which one was it?
I don't know, but I think it was probably after the one showing the heart with like darkness and light coming in the opposite side. It was probably a few slides after that or so. That's all that I can remember. I don't know if it was 5 or 10.
So, which side? It has to be this one. This one? These sheets? Which
No.
one?
Keep going.
This one?
No.
This one?
Yeah, I think it was this one. Or was it the one before? Can you go one back?
This is about Muraqabah al-Dua.
I can't remember it now.
Okay, don't worry, that's fine. If you remember that, you can always ask me later, inshallah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Jazakallah.
no problem. Any other question? Yes, brother, yes.
So, the objective is to purify the organs and obviously to come closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But there's always side benefits. You can start being loved by people, or you can avoid the harm, like you mentioned, the double-edged sword. And those can sometimes become the objective, rather than the objective of pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I wanted advice on how do you, it's hard to not want that objective, or maybe you do, or maybe you don't, I don't know, but how do you remain sincere in that?
Yeah, so this is what we said, Maqsood Azam basically is that the primary objective is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is rida, and you can have that as a secondary objective, that's not a
So
problem.
that's the other thing, because there's a hadith of Allah, Prophet ﷺ that I recall, that Allah is ghani from having dual intentions. So he'll look at an action and he'll see this was done for Allah and he was done for his family, and he goes, dismiss it. I can...
Yeah, here is that it's all of them really, because what you're doing there is that, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, this is the right of the creation, you need to now do that, discharge that. For example, let me show you a circle. There's a big circle, and then surrounding those circles are little circles that overlaps. So basically, is that imagine there's a circle, and surround the circle, on the circumference circle, there are other little circles which actually then overlaps. This is where I can't show you here. Okay. Now, they intersect the halfway in the circumference. So some bits in the big circle and other bits in the outer circle. And imagine these are different circles all surrounding the outer circles. Now what happens is that the bits, these are all, the big circle represents the rights of Allah and His Messenger. And then the little circles are of different creation, your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your work colleagues, etc., etc. So here, for example, here is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given due rights to every single person. Your neighbors, be it Muslim, non-Muslim, they all have rights, everybody has rights. When that right conflicts the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah's right has to be upheld, and they should be negated. So when I actually serve my parent, obviously we love to do that, but it's ultimately it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's haqq and right, and I'm doing the intention that I'm doing it to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He's all told me that to please my parents. It's not dual intention, it's actually ultimately one intention, to please Allah, but this is actually then sieved down through His order, through His command, to actually serve the parents. So ultimately, if you're serving your parents, you are actually fulfilling and achieving the pleasure with the intention of pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is doing that. So it's not a dual intention as such. So what we say the Maqsood Azam, this is objective aim, and objective is pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's our aim. How we do that is through these things. which facilitates and helps to us achieve the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't know if that is making sense or if it needs...
It does. I think I have some nuances there, which I'll explore later. But the main thing that I wanted is you want to, let's say, money pleases you, and you want to give it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But there's always going to be an element of that money you want to spend on yourself, or money that makes you happy.
Yeah, but the thing is that Allah
doesn't that
subhanahu wa ta'ala
conflate
don't do
with?
that. No, there is nothing wrong with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, listen, the other thing is that here is that you should, because primary is that I need to fulfill my right first. And yes, spending on yourself, you should do. The greatest charity you can do is spending on your family. I'm not even talking about this. This is also the thing that the greatest charity is that to buy and please the wife, believe it or not, to buy gifts for your wife and children is the greatest charity you can do. Then comes your other external people, and this is your primary, because these are your close and these are family members. To please them is the greatest thing you can do. So there's nothing wrong with that. And it doesn't say, oh, I want it. No, there's nothing wrong. Money in its essence is not bad, it's not evil. Spending, Allah spending the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is the way of Allah. Spending on yourself and spending is the way of Allah. It's not anything different because He's ordered you to do that. So there's nothing wrong. So if you've got the notion that, but I also want to spend myself, yeah, good, you should. Because that's what you've been told to. Fend yourself, clothe yourself, feed yourself, because this is also your right. And there's no harm in that. What we say is wrong is misusing that money, and also excessively misusing on yourself, whether you could actually spend it to others. That's where we say it's excessiveness and misuse. But if you're spending yourself, and you got the wealth, and you're helping others, and you're helping charity, brilliant. There's nothing wrong, and you get pleasure in both. Pleasure lesson from doing both, spending yourself, spending your family, spending your children, spending on your parents, spending on the orphans, the spending on the people of Syria, spending on people of Afghanistan, and so on. Nothing wrong with that. You get reward, and just as great ajr and reward for that as well. Just the same. But there's also a hadith that says the greatest charity is actually spending on your own family members. Even more rewarding. Inshallah. I hope that makes, the famous word, I hope that makes sense. Okay. Anybody else with any questions? Yes, mashallah. I apologize, honestly. Before you say anything, you are very clever.
So, at the start, you were talking about the shields, obviously, and how the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned about these things will get you to Jannah. Obviously, there's kindness, politeness, easygoing, and easy to talk to, these type of things. There's also other things that get a person to Jannah. For example, certain hadith that say that you read this certain surah or this certain verse or certain things like that. Obviously, that is a thing, and that's Allah's promise, because Allah keeps His promise. But earlier today at Fajr time, we were listening to Sheikh Ahmad Dabbah's lesson, where he said that a person that was very pious, did good deeds, went to Jahannam because he was relying on his good deeds. And what Allah did was He changed his good deeds into bad ones. And now that Allah has made that promise that if you do this, you will go to Jannah, and a person shouldn't allow himself to rely on his good deeds, how will he manage staying humble, doing the zikr and reading these verses and all that stuff, without actually basically believing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him Jannah just through that alone?
Yeah, it is actually taught from day one. From day one, we give you a class sheet, sincerity sheet. We've got it here. I haven't got the sincerity sheet, but I'm just showing the 5-hour miles. Is that from day one, it's basically, effectively what he's saying is that whoever will start the course, from day one here, you see there's a sincerity sheet. From day one, you'll be working in your sincerity. That basically you start thinking that there are different levels. Eventually, it'll be just for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You will be taught automatically. Now, when you take a hadith and in its own effect, if you just, there are many other teachings. That's why I said this is not exhaustive. There's many things. I've just specifically chosen that hadith because it relates to hellfire, and it says hellfire won't touch. There are many other hadiths that say this will take you to Jannah. Not just Surah Mu'minun, other hadiths like you're saying, other ayahs of the Quran. I can't be here to talk about all of that in this session. I just gave you one specific hadith which is relating, and that's it. A person who embarks on the course, listen to this, path to the pleasure of Allah, they will be taught and ingrained in them. This principle is that don't rely on your deeds, don't rely on your amal, don't rely on anything. Rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His mercy. And He'll be worked on gradation on His level of intention through it. I can't take you through all of that and explain that in full depth. This whole journey here, the whole journey here, it'll take hours to explain. So we need to sit with somebody for an hour and a half or so to explain to you the whole path, and then you'll understand what I'm saying. But just to simply put, is that you're 100% right. You need, that was Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh, they mentioned, was 100% correct. The principle is that you don't rely on your deeds, you don't rely on your amal, but how will you know that you're not relying if you don't actually work on it? I.e., hence why we have the ikhlas sheet that trains you in different levels. Eventually, you just rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's it. And you learn from, for example, you go for the carrot and stick approach. You go from, I'm doing for rewards, for rewards in this life of the akhirah, to the end where it's just purely for Allah, unconditional, not for reward, not for reward, not for salvation, not even for Jannah, just for Allah, unconditionally. Not His rida even, just for Allah, unconditionally, the highest level. So you're going to learn how to do that. So if that person has got this attitude, this mindset, whatever he's doing is already ingrained in him that he's doing it for that, and he's relying for Allah subhanahu, nothing else. You understand? So it's like, I know you 100%, it's wonderful that you've understood, and yes, you're right. And this is exactly what we're saying, but one needs to develop that. It's not going to come straight away. So you need to cultivate ikhlas, you need to cultivate humbleness, you need to cultivate shukr, you need to cultivate these things. And once you cultivate these things, these characteristics, this character, for example, easygoing, maybe at the moment you're coarse, you're harsh. You need to work on how to make yourself easygoing. How will you do that? You need to go through this phases of, so if you just follow the whole procedure of the course from first stage, second stage, third stage, fourth stage, if you follow this course, it will get you to those levels. But you need to make the start. It's not theoretical, it's a practical. It's not theory, it's practical. That's the brilliant thing, that it's not just theoretical, it's practically actually going through. You need to go through it practically, not theoretically. Because you can be theoretically reading all that, it's not going to make you purified. By reading a book of purification will never make you purified. Maybe from the knowledge point of view you might be purified, but never from amal point of view. You understand? You need to go through it, hold it fully, hold it to benefit. Inshallah. Okay? Jazakallah. I think we'll call it time now. It's 20 past and Asr Salah is at 6:30. Inshallah. So may Allah, by the way, Nelson is Brightfield. Yeah, I love you all, honestly. So don't get offended, especially Uncle Iqbal. Please, if I've offended anybody, please forgive me. This is like a gesture if I've offended anybody. And also I ask for forgiveness because maybe I have not been able to articulate and explain. I'm not very good at doing that. Not being able to explain the journey or the path to you properly. So I ask forgiveness from that. This is a deficiency from my side. Anything good you've heard is all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and our wonderful teaching of our teacher. And anything wrong is from myself. May Allah forgive me. So Jazakallah for sitting. If you have any further questions, you can see us. You can also do a one-to-one as well regarding the journey. Please do take that if you need that. Jazakallah jazak. Subhanaka wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Jazakallah khair, Imam Qais. So as you all heard, that was quite a key lesson. And just to reinforce what Imam Qais offered and mentioned, if we're getting to the point of the ITIKAF where we're offering the crown jewels, so to speak. You're learning about what is the issue, what's the problem to avoid the hellfire. And then now this is the how. What's the solution? And so as Imam Qais said, if you're interested to learn about this, to really engage with it, there's opportunity to do that this ITIKAF. So you can reach out, ask someone in your one-to-ones, the ustads are available. We'll arrange the halakas to take you through it in depth. This is just a taster. But anyway, Jazakallah khair. So we're now going to break for Asr and we'll close the session. And with that, inshallah, Jazakallah khair.
الله أكبر الله